Hello, everybody. I'm live tonight, Wednesday live. I have a special guest with me tonight. I just want to real quick make sure everything's working on my end. You guys can hear me and everything before we get started. So I'll just wait for a couple of people to log on. We are about 12 minutes later than I posted, but we had a little bit of technical difficulties here. What's up, Michael, Linda? Can everybody hear me okay? Hopefully. How's everyone doing tonight? You hear me fine? Okay, great. All right, so I'm here tonight. I have a special guest with me. We're gonna do a live interview. You guys can ask questions and everything. I'm gonna do some questions with Sensei Vegan. So here is Sensei Vegan. Welcome to the channel. And I should call you Sensei. Okay. Okay. And just real quick, can everybody hear Sensei Vegan? Are we balanced out? Is the audio good on you guys' end? Do I need to adjust anything? Hopefully not. Can't hear. Can you just introduce yourself one more time?
Sensei Vegan,
Can everybody hear him now?
mic check, testing 1, 2.
Hopefully everything is working and we can get started here. Everything's balanced. All right, great, wonderful. All right, yeah. So you got a hold of me not too long ago, and you got an interesting story. So I thought I would have you on the channel and do a little live stream, and you can share your story with other listeners, and maybe they'll have some questions for you, or maybe we can have a little inspiration here. So I'd just like to know a little bit about your background. What got you to go vegan? Your vegan story, basically. Just
All
tell me a
right,
little bit about yourself.
awesome. Well, I think I probably stumbled into it just like a lot of other people. Uh, I was playing basketball, right? And I suffered a bad back injury, pretty bad. And I went to the doctor, and just the typical like Western medicine. I went in. First, I had the MRI done, and the thing that kind of struck me was how the whole, how they diagnosed me. I walked in, nurse asked me a bunch of questions, and the doctor comes in, and basically what they wanted to do was fuse my L5 together. I had a really bad herniated disc. So then I'm looking at the doctor. I'm like, you never, you didn't even come in and examine me. I said the nurse did. He goes, oh yeah, but we see these injuries all the time. It's an older injury. You probably have some arthritis in there. What we want to do is fuse the disc. I'm like, but you didn't examine me, and it just didn't really sit over right with me. So they basically had me slated for back surgery. And I was young, dude. I was young when that happened. So this was back in like 2005. This is how crazy certain things were. 2005 going into 2006. So I left there, and I was like, I gotta find another way. I said, I'm not, because I heard horror stories about getting back surgery. So then I started just doing a bunch of research on the internet, and then I went to a chiropractor. And the funny thing is, he actually fixed my back. He fixed my back, and I believe the first one I went to, his name was Phil. Can't remember his last name. He fixed it, but I relapsed really bad. Okay, I relapsed really bad. And then I start looking around, doing more research on the internet, and I found Dr. Goodman. Dr. Goodman, he was doing this thing called spinal decompression, right? Went in, he fixed my back. He fixed my back, the spinal decompression. It worked. And again, relapsed again, really bad. And I didn't know what to do. And he actually had this other thing called like a hot laser, right? Back then it was fairly new. It worked, relapsed. So then I couldn't find him. I was running around, back was still messed up, couldn't find him. He had moved his office. I didn't know that at the time. So then I came across this other doctor named Dr. Marcus. He was using the same laser, a little bit of different technology, but the same thing. He fixed my back, fixed it. And the thing is with him, I had told him what had happened with the other doctor, He was like, why would they want to do surgery on you? What he told me was mostly all this stuff that happens with the herniated disc is your muscles are actually pinching on the nerves. That's what's causing you distress. So then he, he was examining me, this and that. He found out that the pain was actually radiating from my hip up into my back. He fixed my hip, and then my back didn't hurt, right? Everything was going great, relapsed again. Bad. So then I start researching again. I found Dr. Goodman, the first doctor that actually fixed me, the chiropractor. Told him what happened. He had a new office, and this is where everything changed right here. I met one of the doctors, Dr. Sari, that was actually working in his office. And she sat down with me. She started asking me a bunch of different questions. But the different thing was, you know what the first thing she asked me?
What's that?
What's your diet like? And at that time, I thought I knew it all. I had nutrition and all that stuff when I went to college. I tell her I was taking protein shakes. I was eating grass-fed beef. I was getting, honestly, dude, I had bison meat flown in and all that type of stuff. And I'll never forget it. She goes, if you want your back to heal, you need to stop eating all that damn meat and dairy. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you want your back to heal, stop eating all that damn meat and dairy, and your back will heal up. She fixed me, dude, right? What happened? I didn't listen. Back messed up again. So I went back to her. She fixed it. And then I could hear her voice in my head the whole time. Stop eating all that damn meat and dairy. Stop. I was just like, damn, God, dude. So then I start researching a bunch of videos. I start watching Freely. I start watching Dorian Ryder. And then the icing on the cake was Gary Yourofsky, the best speech you ever hear. I went vegan overnight the next day. Dude, I went cold turkey.
You know that I'm the one that filmed that speech.
Yeah, dude, I heard that when you said that on the Vegan Gains interview you did with him. That's crazy how stuff just works out. So I watched that video. I went vegan overnight. That was July 1st of 2014.
Awesome.
2014, and I've been vegan ever since, and I have no problems with my back. Me and Dr. Sari, we're still friends to this day. And she really saved me because I didn't realize what I was doing to my body. You know what I mean? You get all this different information from people, the meat, the dairy, the protein shakes. All I was doing was basically just toxifying my body. That's it. That's why my body would never heal up. And I haven't had really any problems. Every once in a while, my back will get a little stiff, but that's normal. You just stretch out and things like that. And I'm 48 years old now. I'm 48. I went vegan, at a later age, but the only regret that I have is I didn't do it sooner.
You don't look 48 for sure.
That's the thing. When people find out my age, they're like, "What? Man, I thought you were at least 30 years old." I'm like, no, dude, I'm almost closer to 50. But I feel great. I feel great.
But, yeah, I know. I had a similar story with my back. I had sciatica. I hurt my back really bad, and they kind of wanted to do the same thing. When I went to the doctor, I lived with it for 2 years, and I fixed it, but I had to have surgery for that. But I know what it's like to live with it. It sucks.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
I went from running, doing all kinds of sports to where you could barely even get out of bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's debilitating.
I was a hardcore skateboarder, falling on my back and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I know how it is. So that's awesome that you don't have that anymore and you're better. They also said I had arthritis in my back and everything. I feel great now. I just try to, sit with my back straight up. I try not to slouch. I try not to sit for too long, and I try not to, lift things the wrong way and stuff like that, because you don't want that to happen again. But that's great. So you've been vegan ever since. So I don't know. I guess tell how you transition. How did you learn about the new foods that you were able to eat, and when you went out to restaurants and stuff, like how'd you adapt to that? How was your experience with that?
It was tough at first, and it's like I said, I quit cold turkey, right? And I would tell anybody, I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I'm just being completely honest, because I would say about 6 to 8 weeks in, dude, I got really sick. I mean, to the point where I was laying in bed. I was like, God, if you're going to take me, take me right now, dude. It was like Pookie out of New Jack City. You know, that scene when his body went through that, like the detox. That's what it was like, man. Just my body was ridding itself, man. It was like, yeah, dude, it was just going through really bad withdrawals. And then, that lasted it was like Friday, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, then Sunday, I start feeling a lot better. So it was like 3.5 days of feeling like that, man. And then my body started adjusting to it. But I learned a lot just from researching on the internet. I watched a ton of videos. Like I was watching a lot of Dorian Ryder videos, Frida videos at the time. I think it was Happy Healthy Vegan, just the different vegan channels, and then researching on the internet. But one thing I did do, I did raw till 4. That was one of the things that I followed first. And my weight had got up. My goal was to get to 220 pounds. Like, I don't know if, like, off my channel, I don't know if people can tell my height. Like, I'm 6'1", closer to 6'2".
Okay.
And my goal was to get to like 220 pounds, you know what I mean? And I made it up to like 198, 199 pounds. And I felt like a slug, dude. I couldn't move, just very like lethargic, you know what I mean? Felt really, really slow. So what I did, I ended up getting myself down to about 100 and I would say about maybe 85, 87 pounds. And then I did the raw till 4. And I went from like 185 pounds down to like 159 pounds. But I was shredded, dude. I was ripped, shredded, strong. Brain was running, amped up, you know what I mean? So it worked for me. So what I did, once I learned what to do off the raw till 4, I just started making adjustments. You know what I mean? I like this, I don't like that. And that's where I got to today. Now, as far as like finding different things in stores, you would know this too. It's much easier now than it was even 2 years ago. It's much easier now than it was even a month ago. I mean, you can go into stores now. They have just complete aisles with different vegan options,
right,
and things like that. So the first thing I would say to anybody watching, veganism or plant-based, it's discipline. That's the main thing it has to be. And I hate to say this, but a lot of people aren't disciplined enough to do it. You know what I mean?
No, it's true when you live your whole life a certain way and then you're adapting to something completely different. It's difficult for some people. I did it when I was so young, so it was quite easy for me, but
Right.
I understand when somebody's been, eating a certain way for 40, 50, 60 years, it can be challenging.
Yeah, it's tough. But the term that I had come up with, it's like, and I got this off my mom, don't wait for an emergency to prepare for one. You know what I mean? And it's like the majority, and I'm not a doctor, but I think some things are right in front of our faces and we don't look at it. Most of the health problems we have is from what we put in our mouth. I mean, that's just logic. Diabetes, heart disease, obesity, these are things created by what we eat. You know what I mean? And I think you have to get to a point in your life where you have to be willing to make the right choices and take responsibility and put your own health in your hands. Because technically, even going to the doctors, that I was really surprised that some of them actually, guided me toward, like Dr. Sora, she guided me to the plant-based side. Most will just keep you all medicated up, high blood pressure, give you medication,
Yep.
That type of stuff, because there is no money in healthy people.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So
it's a cycle. They want to keep wrapping you up in it when it's
wrapping you up, dude. And if you look at most things, what do they call it? They call it treatments. They don't call it cures.
They're trying to put a Band-Aid on a problem when they could easily fix the problem.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy. So there's so many options out there right now, but what I try to do, I say the best way, again, I'm not a nutritionist, whole food, plant food, fresh food. It's cool if you want to have like the vegan burgers and dogs and things like that. I think it helps make the transition easier. You know what I mean? But that type of stuff, you don't want to eat it every day.
Right.
You don't want to eat a processed food because you're probably doing just as bad to your health as you were just eating all the animal products. So you have to know how to gauge that type of stuff. But
you got to learn to balance. Definitely.
You got to balance it because you can be an unhealthy plant-based eater.
Absolutely. Soda and French fries.
Yeah, dude. Well, French fries is like the staple for most plant-based people going out.
Yeah, you're vegan, but just not healthy. Yeah, I just want to get to a couple of super chats here. Ra, thank you for the super chat for the pups. And Peter Cunningham says, "What's your opinion on Dr. Milton Mills? Do you know of him?"
Yes, I do, and I'm a fan of Dr. Milton Mills, excuse me. Yeah, I like I like his message because he comes out, he's just straight shooter. He doesn't beat around the bush. To me, he has the same attitude as like Garth Davis. You know what I mean? They just tell it the way it is. But people, their heads are thick, man. They don't listen. They don't listen.
Protein
And I've
comes
been
from
following him.
plants.
Wow. What's that?
Protein comes from plants.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what he says.
Yeah, it can. And I remember him saying that you can get protein just about from any plant. Everything has it.
Yeah.
White rice, brown rice, greens, everything has it. And he says the best way to make sure you get enough protein is what? Eat a wide variety of food. Make sure you eat a wide variety of food, and that's the best way to do it. Yeah. So I really do. I like Milton Mills. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
I agree. He's in some pretty good documentaries too. I think he's in Cowspiracy. He might be in What the Health. Between those two, he's in either one or both of those.
Was he in Game Changers too? I know he was definitely in.
He probably is in Game Changers. Yeah.
He was definitely in What the Health. What the Health was great. If anyone hasn't seen it, he definitely.
And I think my friend Tino Bananiak has done interviews with him, so check that out too if you want to check that out.
He's done quite a few interviews with him.
So, why the name Sensei Vegan?
Okay, I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
My first name was actually Professor Vegan.
Professor Vegan. I like that one too. That's like a superhero.
Yeah, and I think somebody had that, so I couldn't figure out a name. And then actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think my uncle actually said, "Man, Sensei," because he's into martial arts. And he's like a sensei, basically a teacher, an instructor. Why don't you use that? So then I went with Sensei Vegan.
Awesome.
Yeah. So.
It's funny because I kind of got my start through martial arts. I was introduced to being a vegetarian when I was 14 years old through martial arts, and that's pretty much where my journey started. So there's like a little connection there. I liked how you were called Sensei Vegan. So
I started as a kid too. Martial arts. My uncles, they were all senseis, black belts. My uncle Joey actually had 2 kung fu schools, 2 karate schools. So I was brought up on that, boxing, martial arts. I prefer boxing more so to martial arts. I'd rather keep my feet on the ground.
But you have a martial arts background.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's yeah, dude, that was all through my childhood, man. That was all through my childhood, all the way up into like college. Was into that stuff. So yeah, nice.
And you've been Sensei Vegan on Instagram. Do you also do YouTube or no?
Yeah, man. I have. Dude, the crazy thing about YouTube was when I went plant-based, I had a lot of people asking me questions. You know what I mean? And you answer as much as you can. And the biggest question I would get, because I love to cook. I always love to cook. What do you eat? There's nothing to eat. I'm like, what do you mean there's nothing to eat? I didn't learn. Honestly, I didn't really find out about food until I went plant-based.
Same here.
Because when you think about it, most people, they center their meals around what? Beef, chicken, and fish. Beef, chicken, fish. Beef, chicken, fish. Sometimes turkey, sometimes lamb. But those are the 3 main things. So you get to a point where it's like you're eating the same stuff. You're eating the same stuff.
Over and over.
Yeah, over and over and over again. And you go plant-based, man, it's limitless. It's limitless. That's when I found out what eating was. That's when I found out the abundance of different foods, man, because it's just, there's so many different varieties of plants out there, man. So.
I often say there's so many fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, everything there's millions of combinations you can make with all of those. And you're not missing out. Like a lot of people say, "Oh, you're missing out." I said, "No, you're not. You're opening up your world to like so many new different things." And that's what happened for me,
Exactly. And so that's what I did with the channel. So I said, Mel, what I'll do is I started out just doing like cooking segments. You know what I mean? So I was taking the recipes that I liked, like Italian food was my favorite food, still is my favorite food. So I would take lasagna, show you how to make a vegan lasagna, ziti, spaghetti, just different things like that. Then I transition over to doing like pizzas, showing how to make vegan sloppy joes. And then from the food, I moved over into doing like workouts and things like that. But what I noticed is there were a lot of people doing that. And it got to a point where it seemed like most vegan channels were consisting of showing what you eat and going to the gym.
Yep.
So I was like, well, we do more than just, eat salads and go to the gym. So now I look at my channel today, it's just me and what I do. So I'm a comic book publisher. I write comics. I'm on a comic book company. I do that on the side. So you'll see things like that up there. I'm a big cartoon nerd. You'll see motorcycle shows, custom car shows. Right now I'm into the big PEV movement, the electric unicycle. So I have a bunch of videos. So right now, that. Yeah, dude, Chris, you got to try one of those, man.
I want to try one.
Dude, I will come up and teach you how to ride. I swear, man. That thing, you see this big smile on my face.
It looks weird, but it's like I just saw one for the first time like a few days ago, and then I saw you on your Instagram.
Yeah, dude. You got to check out some of the YouTube videos, man. You got to check out some of them YouTube videos. And the cool thing with that was all during COVID. I had gotten laid off from work, and I didn't really have anything. I'm sitting here. I was like, man, I need something to do, man. I need something to do. And I saw this dude, Chooch Tech, riding his, he was commuting to work in a suit. He had a cup of coffee in one hand. He was holding a selfie stick, and he's commuting to work on his wheel. And I mean, he's flying, dude. And I was like, I gotta get one of these things. So I started researching, and I picked one up, and I taught myself how to ride, and I documented the whole thing. So that's what a lot of, like the last, I think, 25 videos that I've put up have been probably, EUC videos dealing with that stuff. But I just wanted to show people, because it's like, it's crazy. They think like because you're plant-based, and you heard, oh, it's a cult. It's this. Nah, man, I get sick of hearing that crap. You know what I mean? It's just like we do the same exact thing. The only difference is we don't deal with the animal products. You know what I mean? So I think it's cool just to sit there and show people, hey, man, we do the same thing as anybody else. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I agree. I'm checking out this video of you riding around on this thing. I'll see if I can pull it up here. Okay, we got that. Is it this one? Nope, that's not the right one. This one right here. Okay.
I don't even know if I can.
Let me just play this real quick. This is what we're talking about right here. That looks really fun. A little bit dangerous too, but hey, that looks cool. It's your main video on your YouTube. You got the
okay, cool. Yeah, that's the trailer. The one, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that thing's a lot of fun, man. So if you need a lesson, I will come up, dude, so you don't make the same mistakes I did. I'll have you riding that thing quick, man. You'll be hooked, though. You'll definitely be hooked.
Yeah, that looks fun. Let's see. Put you back on there. So that's what he's talking about right there. And I will link his YouTube channel in the description of the video as well. You guys go check him out too. Yeah, does anybody have any questions in the comment section here? Oh yeah, and so do you have your own comic book, or is it the company you work for?
Well, no, actually, my wife and I, we own the company. It's called Vexed Comics, VEXED COMICS. And we have an online store, all that stuff. The books can be purchased online and all that. Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. Books were sold internationally all over the place, man. Japan, throughout the UK, Spain. They were sold all over. I actually lost track where those things are being sold. And I mean, that just was like a childhood dream of mine. So.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, dude, and we worked hard and we made it happen.
It's called Vexed Comics.
Yeah, Vexed Comics, VEXED COMICS comics.com, and you'll see this big like face come up. This guy yelling. That's the logo.
All right, this is what we're talking about here, Vexed Comics, and there he is right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big nerd, man. So,
Oh yeah, same here. That's why I'm like running right over there, checking it out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that type of stuff. Yeah, I've been into it since I was a kid, man. But I like I said, I try to take and just link all that stuff together just to try to, because I like I said, sometimes I don't even like the saying they give us a bad rap in a sense, you know what I mean? And one thing that I said even when I started my channel, I will not get into the drama. I stayed out the drama. That's probably why a lot of people don't even know about me, because I said I'm not getting involved in the drama. I will take and keep my channel as positive as I can.
Yep.
Now, I call out companies in a minute. Like, you'll see some of my videos where I'm calling out companies for just some of the stupid stuff that they put. Like, dude, I remember I was eating potato chips one time, and I looked on the chips, and I'm eating one of those, I don't know what kind of chips it was salt and pepper chips, and it had milk powder in it.
Yeah.
Like,
They like to sneak that stuff in, all of them.
dude, I'm like, who puts milk powder in salt and pepper chips? I thought it was just salt and pepper.
Yeah.
And
Planters peanuts have gelatin on them. It's ridiculous. Why would you?
It's crazy. But they sneak it in everything. Sneak it in everything. So
A little milk powder will make these taste better. It'll make these. It's like, why? I don't get it. I don't understand it. But yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, so they sneak in, they sneak all that stuff in there. So I try, like I said, I'll call companies about, call companies out, excuse me, about, stuff like that. And just to shed light so people can just try to at least take just a little piece of your command back of what you eat, man. Know what's going into your body. And I like I said, I stuck to that, stayed out the drama. And I mean, I'm still here. Like, my channel's small, but I enjoy sharing part of my life with the people, that whole thing, and just showing what you can do. And that living plant-based, it's fun, it's easy.
I agree. I think that's for me. I found that to be the best way to go about promoting vegan. That's why I made a entertaining, hopefully people would think it would be fun and inspiring channel, set in a zombie apocalypse. That's how I started. And welcome to anybody that wants to watch the channel, and hopefully we get some people that decide to go vegan because of that. So I think that's the right way to go. As long as you can do something that you love doing and you found a way to do it and make it fun. I mean, that's what I did here, and I think that's the best way to do something that you love doing and making it fun.
Just make it fun. And like I said, that's one thing I said I would definitely not do. I was not going to take and drag down any other plant-based channels. And I stuck to my guns. You know what I mean? I didn't care if people would come in blasting me in the comments. Like, you'll see like a lot of rebuttal videos. Now, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm just saying in general, if that's how people, but for me,
there's a time and place. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I'm not, I even said to the point where I don't care if someone comes and calls me out. I'd be like, look, peace to you, bro. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But I was not going to go do battle with any other plant-based channels. And I stick to that to this day. So that's just not my style of doing things. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you going to do? So I definitely don't need the drama. I don't need to be stressing myself out with that type of stuff. So I stayed out of the whole drama gauntlet. Now, could my channel probably went bigger? Yeah, because I can run my mouth with the best. I'm serious, dude. I could have, because there's a few times I was like, man, I know that I could add some fire to someone's behind if I say this, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna stick to my word and just keep the channel positive, and there's enough chaos going on as it is.
Yeah, that's how I kept my channel for the first maybe 9 years or so, and then I couldn't be silent anymore. From what I was watching people say, I did a couple rebuttal videos on people, saying that vegan was unsustainable, and I'm a long-term vegan myself. I felt that, I had to get out there and say something about it. But, I don't know. I have a handful of videos like that, but the majority of mine are like just doing anything to, even those ones are kind of educating people to you can do it. I've done it. It's doable, and it's not hard.
No,
we got a question here from that girl in OKC. It says, can you tell us if the comics are about being vegan or if the company is vegan?
Well, the thing is, the company was started way before I went vegan. I went vegan in 2014, July 1st of 2014. And my first book actually came out in 2003. And then 2005 when I took and just reformulated everything. So let's just say 2005 is when Vexed Comics was born up until now. But I wouldn't say I was promoting at that time, because I mean I wrote that stuff when I was really, really young. So I would say no, but at the same time, there's nothing in there. It's a very spiritual book, you know. That's one thing I'll definitely say, and it will open your mind. Like, I don't take and spoon feed people. There's certainly, you sit down and you read it, you got to really think about, what's going on the pages, that type of thing. But it is a very, very spiritual book. But I can't. There's nothing dealing with, like, eating, meat or anything like that in there. No. But
well, the comics themselves are probably all vegan friendly products and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a.
Where can people find these comics? Is it just through your site, or can they go to comic stores, or like?
Well, what I did, they were in comic book stores. They were all over the place. But now we took control of everything. So you would actually go onto my store, vexedcomics.com, and you can order everything right from there.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm sorry the answer is probably a little bit confusing. But as far as with the veganism. But I think going forward, I would take and kind of slide that stuff in there. You know what I mean? As far as with some of the characters and things.
You mean like a vegan message is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of do it to where people, they don't know you're doing it, but you're doing it.
Are you like a huge so you're a comic nerd? Did you know that I think they alluded to Superman being vegetarian or vegan a long time ago? I don't remember which one, but I've seen like clips of it.
I believe he is actually.
Yeah.
I believe he is.
You would think that most intelligent alien forms would have evolved to that point anyway.
Yeah, they should be light years ahead of us, right? Even Batman, as smart as he is, he should know better. Yeah. But like I said, I'll take and I'll slide the messages in there, so it's almost like a subliminal message in a sense. Hey, I've never seen him, eating wings, hot wings, and ham sandwiches or bacon sandwiches and things like that. You know what I mean? That type of thing. But I try to keep everything as positive as possibly can. So.
Well, that's cool. I think that's cool that I now know somebody that is like a owner of comics and stuff. That's really cool. Do you go to like Comic Cons and stuff like that?
Oh, dude, we did New York. If anyone has ever been to New York Comic Con, we were the pioneers in New York Comic Con. I don't know if you ever went to New York Comic Con.
I haven't, no.
Man, it'll never be the same. We were at the New York Comic Con when the fire marshals had to come in and shut the thing down because there was just way too many people that came. Before that show even happened, I don't even think the people that put the show on knew that they were going to get that many people. And I was like, you guys have no idea how many people like comic books or into that stuff. And people had bought tickets. They couldn't get in. They shut the doors. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. But to me now, it's the Comic Con. They didn't do it this year because of COVID, but it went to a place where it just started becoming too commercial. You know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't about the comic book culture anymore. It wasn't about the artist anymore. It was just like, all right, come in. Let me, charge you enormous amounts of money to set up and do this. And it was more about the movies. You know what I mean? The big Marvel movies. As much as I love those movies, right. I still respect the independent artists, because it was the independent people that took and helped build that show up into what it was. And then and then
they're the supporters of it, yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And it just got to a point where it wasn't even worth going, because it wasn't about the comic book culture. It was just about, hey, this is the end thing to do, and it's the cool thing to do now, so let me be part of it. I've been a comic book nerd since I was 4 or 5 years old. You know what I mean? This is what it's in me. This is what I grew up with. I'm not doing it for show. I do this stuff for real. You know what I mean? So it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I love comics. Spider-Man was my favorite comic book. That's the one that got me interested in doing it. And
that was my favorite growing up too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I love me some Spider-Man. And then I remember telling people at one point, and they thought that was crazy, even that I wanted to get into comics and doing comics. People thought I was nuts. And I didn't listen to them, kept going. then I said, well, one day I was like, man, I'm telling you, it's the comic book movies. They're going to run Hollywood, man. They're going to keep Hollywood alive. And what happened?
Exactly that.
Yeah, I said they're going to take all these books and they're going to turn them into movies. People thought I was crazy. Marvel's been dominating the screen for how long? You know what I mean? So I could see it coming, man. I could see it coming.
Okay, we have another question here. Linda wants to know, when you went vegan, did your family join you? Did they go vegan as well?
Oh, dude, yeah. Okay, this is a good story here.
Good question here.
Yeah, good question. So I went first, and my wife's probably going to kill me, man. But she's in the other room. She's going to come blasting in here and probably put me out. But so the whole time I went, it was like she was basically looking to see what I was going to do. Because I'm the type of person, I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's hard for me to focus. You know what I mean? My brain is like a pinball machine. Ping, ping, ping. If people knew what was going on in my head sometimes, like, how do you function sometimes? But once my mind is set on doing something, I'm like, I'm going to get it done regardless. So I remember she had went out and bought a bunch of shrimp, and she butterflied the shrimp all up and fried it up, and she got sick, man, eating that stuff. That was it. She went vegan right after that. So I was like a year ahead of her, and she came a year right after me, and she went vegan right after that, cold turkey, just like me. Yeah. And she's been vegan ever since. So she was like I was 2014, she was 2015. Yeah.
Okay, and she's felt like positive, feels good after that too? Like,
oh yeah, she feels great. My wife's in excellent shape. Yeah, man. I call her, she's like a Spartan wife, man. She's in excellent shape. Yeah, good shape. Yeah. Yeah, she feels great. And like I said, I don't try to push anything on anybody. I said to each your own. You know what I mean? So what I'll do is I try to lead by example. It's like,
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, people see me, and like I said, I hate Chris, I hate leading with age. I think age is just a number. I think a lot of people age before their time. So when people see me doing this stuff, and then they find out my age, like, wait a second, what do you do? I said, I'm plant-based. That's it. And I just slide that in there. Well, what do you eat? And this is what I eat. This is what I do. And I just let that be the beacon that will maybe shine bright enough to be like, hey, maybe if I change the way I eat, it might do me some good. Now, this is my thing. And I think, well, some plant-based people aren't going to agree with me, but this is how I think. Most people aren't going to go plant-based. They're not. Again, it's all about discipline. But if there's 7 days in a week and you can go at least 3 days out of the week, maybe even 4 days out of the week, I say that's better than nothing.
Yeah, and something is better than nothing.
Something's better than nothing. I know some people are like, no, hey, I'm looking at reality. I'm a realist.
Yeah. The way I see it the same way, because, we can only make one decision, and that's the decision, our own decision. We have free will for ourselves, not for other people. So you can only really lead by example to other people. I just want to clarify. So you said, so do you distinguish yourself from being plant-based or actual vegan? Is it like for health-wise, or is it like ethics in there too? Like, how do you describe yourself?
Right. Well, for me, it started out with health reasons. That's how
a lot of people, that's how they start out.
Because with me, if I'm not healthy, I can't do anything or help anybody else. Think about it.
Exactly.
I can't advocate for animals, cruelty-free, any of that stuff. I'm not healthy. So I had to take care of me before anyone else. Then as I start progressing, and again, through research, I start canceling out different things. Now, did I make mistakes along the way? Heck yeah, I did. Like I said, sometimes you'll eat things, though, it'll say vegan. Then you read the ingredients on the back. They might sneak honey in it. They might sneak whey powder. They might sneak casein in it. There's just and then they hide the names within, how they do all that stuff. They camouflage the name. So you're learning as you go. So I start canceling out things, like I stopped using leather products.
It's definitely a learning curve, yeah.
It's a learning curve. And it's like I said, if anybody thinks that you're going to get everything right the first time out, no, that's not how life works. If you mess up, hey, just start over and you keep on going. So, we make sure that the products that we use, we try to make sure everything is, animal friendly, not tested on animals. I don't use leather, my shoes, all that stuff. Only thing is I think I have leather now. I have this old motorcycle jacket that I have to just get rid of. Never I haven't worn that in
Well, I
years.
mean, that's one thing when you had something that you had prior to doing that, like,
Right. And then I actually had somebody come into my comment section because I did a video on one of my cars. I was fixing something on my car, and they were talking about the leather interior in my car. I was like, look, dude, I got this car back in 2004. Now, if you wanted, now I said, now if what are those seats?
it's not like you're gonna like trade
Yeah,
that in and grab like a brand new Tesla or something,
I
It's
said
it's
no.
not practical. It's not realistic.
Right. So I said, if one of these companies want to send me some free seats, I'll take the leather seats out and replace them. You know. But besides that, everything, like I said, everything. I don't wear leather. I don't. You
When
know.
people are that can discourage people, and I think that's a negative thing when people come at you and they try to they try to find a way or a reason of like doing something. Oh, well, you put gas in your car today, or like something like that. Like, oh, you can't truly be a vegan. And like, okay, yeah, like if I'm going to live in a cave and I'm not going to step on an animal or a bug or something, like it's just unrealistic when you get like that. Veganism is to do what is practically, realistic to not exploit, eat, wear animals. So, and I think we're all doing a good job at that.
No, I agree with that. And like you said, people will find any angle to try to knock you down. You know what I mean? And I think some stuff
Yeah,
is just,
you just got to brush that off.
yeah, it's just petty. I had not too long ago. I had this was an old video too. I had some dish liquid, and they saw it in the video, and they said, "Man, you call yourself a vegan or something like that? Your dish liquid you're using." I said, "Hey, you know what? I made a mistake, dude. That was this." I said, "The video is like almost 5." I said, "It's 4 years old, dude. What do you want me to do? I'm
Yeah,
here for
I
mistakes."
I get that kind of stuff all the time. I have to look in the background, what's in the background. I'm always like, wait, redo this. You got to take like I'll be at my parents' house. And my parents aren't like, my dad's not a vegan, so they have stuff at the house that's not vegan. And in the background, I'm always looking like, get that out of there. I don't want that in my video. But like people will criticize and complain no matter what you do.
It is what it is, man. And you're not gonna. I'm not, like I said, I tell people I'm not here to please everybody. I treat everybody with respect. I do. Everyone's not going to agree with what I say. I'm not going to agree with everything what everyone else says as well. You know what I mean? We're all entitled to our opinion, but I think there's just civilized ways that we can all communicate. You know.
I
Um,
love conversations with people that aren't vegan that are really curious as to why, and they ask questions. Like I'm there to answer those questions. I've seen pretty much everything as far as like transitioning from the standard American diet to going vegan. So like I'm there to help, and that was amazing that there's a platform like YouTube and social media that you can
Exactly.
share your knowledge with other people.
No, 100%. If you depend on mainstream media for your information, you're just going to be kept in the closet the whole time because they're not your friend. They're not going to tell you what's going to basically take your mind, body, and spirit to the next level. They want to keep you basically in their sedated, toxic prison. That's how they make their money. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it's like you really have to get to a point in your life where you got to take control of it, because if you don't control your life, someone else is going to do it.
Yeah.
And that's it. You got to take control. You got to.
I like to try to give people the best advice I can, and like, it's up to them to do with whatever they want to do with it. But I really truly feel like going vegan all those years ago was the single best decision I had ever done. And I'm, like there's no better time to go vegan than right now if you're not already. So, um,
That's. I'm sorry to cut you off.
oh no,
That I wish I would have did it sooner. I look back at I was into sports, but I wasn't into sports, if that makes sense. My favorite sport was like I said, I love boxing, but I love to run. Right? I love to run. I was just gifted with speed. And I wish I would have known about eating plant-based when I was in, into running seriously, man, because I only God knows where I'd have went. Because even I'm talking, dude, even at the age I am now, I could outrun people in their teens and in their 20s, and they have no idea. Like I said, they have no idea how old I mean. When I say I can scoot, I remember, perfect example. We went to we were doing a Spartan race, right? When you're doing a Spartan race, and if anyone has done, I'm sorry, the Tough Mudder. We're doing a Tough Mudder race. It was I believe Tough Mudder is either 13 or 15 miles. I think it's 15 miles, and you're running and you're jumping over walls and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Everyone's seen those things on the internet, right? So we get to this one obstacle. It's a big, like, quarter pipe. You know, you have to run up it, and it's wet, it's muddy, and it's high. And you have to run up the thing, and you have to get on the top, and you have to help if your teammates can't make it up, you got to try to help them get up there, right? So, dude, I'm watching people run up this thing, and it sounded like a drum solo, man. People are running, smacking their faces. You know, you're looking at it like, geez Louise. And I'm saying to myself, how come these people can't make it up this thing? Now, there were some people that can make it, but there are a lot of people just running up that thing, running into it chest first, sliding back down, and all this kind of crazy stuff. So I'm standing there, I'm waiting. And I'm, at that time, dude, I'm in my 40s, man. I'm in my 40s doing this thing, right? So I just take off in a mad sprint. I'm running. I run as far as I can up that quarter pipe, and then I jump. And I jumped up so high, dude, my waist came up and this dude was like, "What the F, dude?" And then dude, I almost made up to it with my feet. And I can't make this stuff up because my wife was back there and we had a few friends. They were looking, and when I jumped, you could literally hear the people watching go, "Whoa!" Right? So I jumped up there. So then my wife comes up, the rest of the teammates come up, and then there were these other people. So this guy was like, "Dude, you know, can you hold me and help me and my buddy up?" So he jumps up there. I'm holding him by his ankle with one hand, right? And then I'm pulling his buddy up with my other hand. Now, I was only about 170, maybe 170, 375 pounds. And I'm holding two grown men, one by the ankle and and pulling one up by the arm. You understand?
That'd be a perfect picture, Snap.
Dude, I can't make this up. I can't. And I'm even saying to myself, wow. But dude, I'm telling you, when I went plant-based, it took and put my body and my whole athletic ability on a whole different level. Now, people can argue the fact, no, I don't believe you. I don't care what you believe. I'm telling people what happened, you know. And like I said, I wish I would have known this stuff, you know, at an earlier age. I really, really do, because I think it's valuable information.
Yeah. I can outrun my younger self. I can currently, you know, outrun. I was a really bad runner when I was younger. And I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life now, like in my 40s. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
if you tell people that, they think you're nuts. They say, "Oh, you're getting older." I mean, no, you're the reason you're aging the way you are, you're not taking care of yourself. You know, you got to eat, you got to sleep. My sleep habits are kind of bad. I'm trying to work on that, but I got my eating back.
Like last year, I did a video, like a skateboarding video, where I did one trick for every year that I was old. So I nailed it. I did all these, you know, tricks. I fell and everything. Like, my bones are not brittle and everything. I'm still out there doing what I used to do when I was younger. It's fun. It's fun to know that, you know.
Yeah, it's not. And I think a lot of people, they think, "Oh, man, I'm getting older. You know, I got to settle down." No, the older you get, the more you should move around.
Exactly.
That's me. You should actually be doing more than what you do.
Exercise every day.
Every day you got to be doing something. Every day. I need to start probably running and more than riding my wheel. I mean, I've been on that wheel so much.
It looks so fun, though.
Dude, Chris, until we got to meet up, man, I'll teach you how to do that.
I'd love to, yeah.
Thing I want to say, too. Now, I'm going to keep this as positive as I can, but, yeah, this is what I want to blast, though. And I'm saying this to anybody watching or any future people that watch this video, okay? Eating plant-based, it works. Now, it's how you do it, whether it's going to work for you. And I keep telling people, stop putting your faith in celebrities. Celebrities are nothing but people. And the thing that drives me crazy is that you'll get celebrities that come in and they'll do, you know, they'll go plant-based or vegan, and it doesn't work for them. What do? They just start blasting it. Oh, It doesn't work. And, you know, oh, I have brain fog. I was missing omega-3s. Before, this is perfect example. Before it was B12. That was the biggest thing everyone would say, "Oh, you go plant-based, you're going to be B12 deficient, blah, 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 this and that." I was B12 deficient when I was eating a ton of meat. That's what I told you. I took a blood test. And I was eating I was doing the grass fed and all that stuff. And I did all that stuff, Chris. Keto, low carb, high. I did all that bull crap, right? Did all that stuff. And I was still B12 deficient eating all those animal products. That's number one. So that was the biggest thing. People would always say you're going to be B12 deficient. Now that they put that to rest, what's the biggest thing now? Omega-3s. Oh, I have brain fog. I ate some fish. Like fish is going to be the miracle cure why you have brain fog.
When fish actually get theirs from the algal,
Exactly.
and that could be like a direct,
Right.
why don't we eat that directly? Or nuts, walnuts, flaxseed, chia seed.
Exactly. Worst case scenario, if you have to get an algae supplement, there's a lot of that stuff out there. Take an algae supplement, seaweed, that type of stuff, and you can take and get your omega.
Yeah, I never understood that, because when they're going that route, they're basically directing it to health wise. So if you were really that health conscious, why would you eat fish that have all these other things in it that are going to make you sick, or pollute your body?
Yeah.
Just to get something that you could take from a plant supplement, or just eating some nuts.
And like you said, fish, a lot of heavy metals in fish, mercury.
Yep. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy. But again, it takes discipline. So what they'll do, they'll start making excuses, and it's like, no, it didn't work for you because you didn't do it right. You didn't do it right. Don't blame plant-based eating. Blame yourself. And that's, I actually need to do a video on that, because it was starting to drive me crazy. I'm just like, no. So anybody, do not put your faith in them celebrities or people just like you and I. They're going to slip up, make mistakes, do this and do that.
Well, that's one of the reasons I just did my recent one where I did a video for Miley Cyrus not being vegan anymore. She was eating horrible, talking about doing a lot of drugs and stuff, and then she blamed it on veganism. And she's got a huge following. I know I'm nowhere near any of her followers, but as far as like how many followers I have, but I wanted to put a video out there and say, look, guys, I've literally been vegan longer than Miley Cyrus has been alive, and she's telling you that she got brain fog, and that's just, no. She's messing up everything that vegans have worked hard to, to show people, and she's ruining it, and it's false.
Right, and it's total BS. You know that, I know that, but to the newcomers, they don't know that, so they're going to take. Again, she has the following, as they say, she has the clout, so they're going to take and they're going to follow what she says.
Yeah, and I couldn't not do that video. I was so compelled to do that video.
No, it was a good video. I watched the video.
Oh, thank you.
No, it was a good video. Again, it's good that we have such a diverse community here, that you have people that will step up and take the mantle and do different roles. You know what I mean? And that's good that you did that. But don't, not you. I'm just saying, again, for the people that it doesn't work for, don't ruin it for other people. Be just, hey, woman up or man up or whatever, you prefer to be called, whatever. Hey, it didn't work for me, but it might work for you. I think that's what people need to do. This address your faults and what you didn't do right. Hey, I was out drinking, I was smoking weed, I wasn't sleeping. That's why it didn't work for me. You understand what I mean? I wasn't doing it properly. But don't sit there and blame.
I wish these people could be like honest and say, I didn't feel like doing it anymore, because that would be honest. Okay, I got it. You're honest. You didn't want to do it anymore.
100%. That's a big thing too, Chris. That's another big thing that I noticed, is that at one point, man, and it's still moving. I think a lot of people did it for views, went vegan, went plant-based, and when it got to a certain point, because at one point I'm looking at the videos, and I follow a lot of people. I watch a lot of videos. And it's like, oh, the big thing now is the carnivore. Oh, man, if I go carnivore, I can go carnivore. I can bash the vegan diet, and I can jump my views or subscriber count up by 50,000 if I go in. And you see people just jumping ship.
Some of their rationale was just insane.
Goodness. Yeah.
Insanity.
Right? I saw it, and I was like, why, what's going on here? Or they might make a deal. Now, some of this is, my speculation. They would take their following, and they might get paid by some company. Hey, you come here. Because I've seen people do that, where now they're getting, kickbacks, or making deals with these companies that send you like the meat kits.
The MAILBOX, yeah.
I'm like, oh, so they probably made that deal, got paid some money. You understand what I'm trying to say?
And
So
still tried to like make an argument about how that is ethical.
yeah, right?
Like, really?
Yeah. So like I said, some things it's just like you can see straight through what they're doing, and it's just like, come on, just be honest. Hey, I didn't want to, like you said, I didn't want to do it anymore. This is where I'm going. And if you're chasing dollar signs, then just say that you're just chasing dollar signs. If you
I
don't,
think it's pretty self-apparent for I think most people can catch on to those people. You can kind of tell. I mean, I've realized over the years I've been able to tell if somebody's genuine or not, and I've been right pretty much most of the time.
yeah, I remember watching, and I can't quote it 100% beta verbatim, but it was Dorian Ryder. And he said this years ago, you'll find out who the real ones are when the money stops rolling in or the views stop rolling in.
Well, he's not wrong.
Yeah. And love him or hate him, like I said, I used to watch I still watch some of his videos, and I have no problem. But he said a lot of truthful stuff and smacked people straight in the heart with it, and they didn't like it. But that was a true statement, and he was 100% right, because a lot of them bailed ship, a lot of them jumped ship. So he was spot on. Yeah.
So let's move over to I don't know exactly what area you live in, but what do you do for like maybe even before the pandemic or something. So what are some of your like favorite places to go and eat at, or if you do at all?
I don't eat out as much as I used to. You know what I mean? We do most of our cooking here.
I
You know,
guess I guess I do the same thing. I mainly cook at home, but I guess what I'm trying to ask, do you have any like favorite vegan spots that you do when you do go out that you like?
where was I go? Oh man, where would I go? Uh, New York City, dude. You know what? Honestly, now it's even hard because a lot of those places are probably closed. They're closed down.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess pre pandemic.
there was Candles that was up on the Upper West Side.
Candle
That
79.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that Candles was another one. Oh, dude, I got a sweet tooth, right?
I actually went there after I went there with Gary Yourofsky after I filmed his speech. We went to Candle Cafe.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't work too far from there, actually. I don't work too far from there.
Okay, so you live right there in the city then.
I lived in New York City for 6.5, almost 7 years. I live in Jersey right now, but I'm only 15 minutes outside of New York. So I live in Jersey and I work in New York City.
I lived in New York City back in the early 2000s. Yeah.
I was there from 95 until like 2002 or three, something like
Oh,
that.
okay, then we were there at the same time.
Yeah, probably ran past each other.
Yeah.
I used to live right off from Madison Square Garden. I lived on 36th Street, right off of Ninth Avenue. So
Okay. I
I was
was
right.
on the Upper West Side. I was on like West 79th, right by the Hayden Planetarium.
Hmm. Oh, my wife's giving me some cues. Screamers Pizza. That's
Oh,
a
okay, yeah. Yeah.
Screamers.
I
Yeah.
had it. I had that at the Vegandale,
Okay.
and I got to say that was really really good pizza.
Screamers is good. And like I said, I have a sweet tooth, so man, dude, I had to stop doing this, dude. I was living in Cinnamon Snail, getting those, getting those vegan donuts. Oh
I
my,
went there earlier this year. I went the Cinnamon Snail back in February.
yeah,
Was it February? Yeah, so I think it was February.
yeah. And then I mean, some of the other places, like I went to this place today, and the great thing is now you can see where they're having vegan sections on the menu. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I went to a place called Blockheads, and they had vegan quesadillas and they had burritos, really really good. And I had one of those today. Um, Sweet Beet, I think that's another like a vegan spot. I don't know if they're all vegan, but they have a lot of vegan options. I would go there uh, occasionally, but for the most part, we cook the majority of our
That,
food
that's the way to go. That's what I do too. I just,
because you know what's in it.
yep.
You
No
know what's
cross
in
contamination. I get to make it myself. So,
it.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not.
Except for when I go to LA and I have to go out. There's so many vegan options out there, and it's been a while, but I like to hit up some of these places when I go out there.
Food scene is crazy. It's crazy out there. Yeah.
So I guess a couple more questions. So since you told me that you're like a huge like nerd and everything like me, do you all like? So my thing is like I love horror movies, and this time of year I'm doing like a horror movie a night. Do you have any favorite horror movies? Do you like horror or?
You know, the crazy thing with me is I've never really. Now, my wife, she loves horror movies. Me, I'm like action. You know,
Okay, so let me change the question. Like, what would be your favorite movie? I like to ask people what their favorite movie is.
dude, my favorite movie. Okay, all right.
Or
I
if you, some people don't have a favorite movie, they have like a few favorite movies.
Yeah, I do, but there's just one that always stands out for me.
Okay.
Matrix.
Oh, yeah.
The Matrix.
Uh,
I don't care. Yeah, dude, that movie. I don't know, man. I just thought that was probably one of the best movies of the last 30 years or so, man. I love the Matrix. The original Matrix to me was probably my favorite movie.
the end where he finally gets it and he's like, like
To be honest, dude, I
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, glad to see me. Yeah, dude, I love the Matrix. Um, Enter the Dragon will always be one of my favorite movies.
Enter
You
the
know,
Dragon, that was one of my favorites too.
yeah, dude, I love that movie. You can't, no special effects. Well, the special effects they did use was basically nothing compared to what we do now, but it was just, I
Enter the
love.
Dragon. What was the other one when I was a kid? With the one with Bruce Leroy.
Oh, Last Dragon.
Last Dragon,
Right.
yeah.
And you see him at the comic book show sometimes too. That guy that
I
played.
didn't see him, but I read an article where he was at one. I was like, oh, cool, yeah. I haven't heard about that movie since I was a kid.
Yep, I've seen him at quite a few shows. But like I said, right now, I really love the Marvel movies. You know what I mean? I love the
Yeah.
comic book movies. So
So
like I
yeah,
said,
I keep wanting to see more. Like yeah, I really like them.
and
Um,
DC, I always say it, if you need help writing something because you guys need some help with your script, I'm here. I always say that because DC's hurting. I don't know. DC can't put. The thing was crazy with DC, Chris. Their animated stuff is on point. I don't. They need to take their animated writers and let them write the movie scripts, and DC would be fine in the movies.
yeah,
Their animated stuff is just
yeah,
that.
because it's not like I mean, some of their stuff is good, but it doesn't compare to Marvel.
No, it doesn't. It's something's missing. They need better direction. They definitely need better direction, man.
All right, and I guess we've been on for an hour now, so I'm going to ask you one last question here, unless you want to add anything to it. Um, if there's somebody here that's not vegan, what would you say to them? What would you say to help them go vegan? What is your best advice for somebody to go vegan if they want your help?
Best advice. I would go back to what my mom said, because I always hear it in my head: do not wait for an emergency to prepare for one. And anyone that's watching, or anybody that's going to see this video in the future, what you put in your mouth is going to predict your future. If you stick to the Western diet, it's only due time until you become obese, you get heart disease, high blood pressure, gout. Most of the major diseases come from what you put in your mouth. So if you want to have a very active future as you get older, you want to keep your body in good shape, your mind, you want everything to connect and run in good order, change what you eat. Now, I'm not a nutritionist. I can't tell you what to eat. The only thing I can do is lead by example and give you advice. But after watching this, watch what you eat. The more fresh fruits, vegetables, water, fresh juices, grains, legumes, beans, all that stuff is the best stuff for you. Anything that poops, pisses, I'm just being honest, cut it out your diet. Cut it out your diet. If it moves, if it quacks, if it clucks, cut it out your diet. Now, again, you're going to have people come and argue the fact, oh, these doctors say that. You have to look behind the curtain. Who's funding what they're saying? Is it the meat and dairy industry? A lot of times it's the meat and dairy industry is telling you to eat all that stuff. They fund all that stuff. But again, don't take my word for it. Don't take Chris's word for it. Do the research yourself. And when you take time to research things, you'll find out the truth. Now, the truth's going to take and be like a hard punch to the throat, but you just got to swallow it and you got to take it. Now, again, if you want to wind up with one of these major diseases, keep eating the standard Western American diet, and I guarantee you're going to come down with one of these things. I'm just being completely honest. Again, some people probably come and fuss, oh, you don't know what you're talking about? Prove me wrong.
No, I think that's great advice. I like that piece of advice there. It's,
I'm sorry
like,
wrong with it, Chris, but I'm just saying, you know, you can't,
it's simple and true. It's real.
Yeah, you can't deny the science. You can't. And it is another thing, Chris, what I want to add to is they'll have doctors, oh, well, this doctor said this. There's a whole lot of plant-based doctors out there that tell the truth. But how come their information is never credible? You ever notice that? Yeah. It's like they'll believe all this other stuff, but these plant-based doctors that are telling you 100% fact and truth, backing it up with the scientific facts.
People want to discredit it. They want to blow it off and say, well, you got the whole American Board of Dietetics saying that veganism is a proper plant-based diet is okay for any human being, any stage of life,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, man, you got to learn how to look through the smoke and mirrors. And it goes back to the oldest thing. There's just two more things, and I don't, like I said, I get too long-winded, but I remember I was at work, and it got to a point where what I would eat, I would take and go off and eat by myself, because I would sit there. Let's say I would eat 4 or 5 bananas. People would say, "Oh, you're going to get potassium poisoning." You know what I mean? Or they'd see me eating fruit. You're going to get diabetes. Oh, that's too much sugar. I'm like, first of all, it's not the sugar that's causing the diabetes.
No.
Most of the time, it's the oil and all that stuff in the food that's causing it, right?
It's the animal product.
Yeah, it's the animal product. Causing all that grease, oil, and all that stuff that's causing the diabetes. It's not the darn sugar. Oh, yeah, but this, I said, first of all, look at what you're eating and look at what I'm eating. You got, a double burger with extra cheese, extra large fries, and all that stuff. Now, if I was eating that, you wouldn't say anything. But because I'm eating some bananas, you know what I mean, fruit, this and that, it's not healthy. It's too much sugar. I was like, no, you have to learn the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of disturbing in a sense, but that's the world we're living in.
I had an argument with a relative about that, saying like, it's the sugar. People are so worried about the sugar and the carbs, and it's like, no, the sugar is exacerbating the problem, but the root of the problem is the animal products that you're eating. It's clogging up your sensors so that your insulin cannot get to where it needs to go. We're talking about diabetes too here, and then so when the sugar comes in, it spikes it. I had a friend that I did a video with, and I put him on a vegan diet. I made him food and everything, and his insulin, his diabetic state dropped to a normal, like you or me.
Yeah.
And not even in that long of a time.
Yeah, it's like the sugar sits in your bloodstream. Your cells can't absorb the sugar, so you're getting these major sugar spikes. It's like it has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to go. So I mean, it works. I mean, you're a living testament of it, Chris. It works. I'm a living testament of it. It works. But again, do the people who have the discipline to stick to it and do it properly? Now, do I eat 100%, healthy all the time? No, I have my days where I binge and do this. But again, I know how to get myself back on track and do what I have to do. It's
exactly same here.
Yeah, man. So,
well, I want to thank you for coming on the show. People can follow Sensei Vegan. I linked his YouTube below, and you can find him on Instagram. I'm sure you can reach out to him if you have any more questions for him. Thanks for being on the show. I think this went really well.
Chris, I appreciate it. Dude, honestly, I don't even think you're an answer. I'm like, dude, I'm going to just write this. It's going to be a shot in the dark. If he gets it, he gets it. And you responded, and I appreciate you for that, man. I do. Humble, thank you so much.
I'm looking forward to writing that little unicycle thing sometime too.
Dude, you give me a ring, and we'll meet. And how close are you to me? How close are you to Jersey?
Well, it depends where in Jersey. I'm about 4.5 hours from New York City, so.
Okay. So you're further north than, okay.
I'm central New York. Yeah, I'm up in Syracuse.
Oh, that's not far though. That's not.
It's like a half a day drive.
Yeah, not even that, dude. 4 hours. I can get there I can get there quick. They're quick, man. But
Oh,
yeah, I'll definitely teach you how to ride, man. You're going to be hooked though. So after you ride for the first time, you got just get ready because you're going to buy a wheel, dude. I'm telling you.
well, we'll try it out. I'm serious. We'll do a whole video of it.
Oh man, that'll
Um,
be the
but
best.
yeah, when this whole pandemic's over, I'll try to get down there and we'll actually, I'll give you a notice and maybe we can do something. That'd be cool.
Oh heck yeah, dude. We
Yeah,
make a day or make a weekend out of it. Ride, eat, do what we got to do. Make some videos. It'll be
sounds fun. Check
it'll
out
be
some comics.
Oh, I definitely check out some comics. Maybe give you a cameo in a comic. I could do that too.
That'd be
You
cool. A
know.
vegan zombie. Yeah. Actually, I'm thinking like when my movie is done, I want to make my movie into a comic. I don't know if you know this, but I have a cookbook, and the beginning of the cookbook is a comic.
Nice.
Yeah,
Man, put an order in for
it's
the
pretty
cook.
cool.
Put an order for the cookbook.
All right, so I just want to shout out real quick and let people know. So like, hold on a second. Is it this one? Nope. Nope. Oh yes, it is this one. So I'm gonna bring this over here. This is some people were asking. So I right now I have. Can you see this? I don't know if
I
people.
can't right now. I can't see anything.
Okay. So I just want people to know I have these masks now. The Go Vegan ones. We have the Zombie Crew ones, the Vegan Zombie ones, and you can get those right now. If you already ordered them, they're going to be sent out at the end of this week. If not, there's a ticker, and they'll be sent out on the 29th of October. So I just wanted to shout that out to people. And the link below is beanies, hoodies, and aprons. You just click that link, and you can go over there. And thank you for Sensei Vegan for being on the show, and I will see you all later. Have a good night. Watch out for zombies.